Well, hello, and welcome back to that thing we like to call Curlis Mania, where we talk all things pop, rock, and prog. Man, I'm thrilled to have this gentleman back on the channel. The chief executive officer of Sea of Tranquility, Mr. Pete Pardo. How are you, Pete?
Doing good, Tom. Thanks for having me once again. Very much looking forward to talking about a band that I love quite a bit, especially an era of the band that I love quite a bit. So yeah, thanks for inviting me back.
Absolutely, of course, anytime. So yeah, we are here to talk about we last time we did an incredible run for Jethro Tull, and people seem to enjoy that. So I thought, well, Pete, let's do another incredible run. And we were kind of talking about different bands and artists, and I thought, well, how about Queen? I mean, their '70s run is pretty unbelievable,
It's
you know.
really unbelievable, yeah, for sure.
And it's funny because I was doing I was doing a little bit of just homework. I mean, I don't have to do much homework for this because I mean I lived with these albums my whole life, so it's not like I have to like really dig too deep. But just listening to them again and going through them all again, I mean, you just go wow. You just shake your head and it's just like there's just so much greatness going on for this period.
Yeah, this is like one of those runs of albums that I, throughout the course of my time being a fan of the band, I can probably say that almost everyone on here has at one point or another been my favorite album from the band, maybe with the exception of one. So that's crazy, right? Because it's like, it's like every time, every couple of years, I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of my favorite now. And then, a couple of years later, well, that's kind of my favorite now. And that's happened for as long as I've been a fan of this band. I just keep flip-flopping from one to the other. They're all worthy of being a favorite album, and that just goes to show you the strength of this part of the catalog, a band, in its infancy, and then really figuring it out, but still kind of doing all sorts of different things, which is what they have always done throughout their career, right? So, but yeah, these albums are really, really special, really, really special, whatever you call them, because like Queen is like one of those bands, like what are they, a hard rock band? Are they a pop band? Are they this? Are they that? I'm like, they're like everything rolled into one,
Yeah, they
pretty
are,
much.
and they recklessly cross boundaries. Like just it's just like you're like, wow. I mean, just the confidence alone to be able to do that, and just like,
Yeah,
hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna throw this in here. I'm gonna do this. And it's like, oh my God. But I always say they always had that for Queen for me always had that hard rock core. Like it was like they could kind of mess around with a little bit of theatrical stuff and here Leroy Brown and all this like little things like and Seaside Rendezvous like and then it's like but they'd always come back to like a Brighton Rock or like a they could always fall back on that. They just had that hard rock core to me. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Which
yeah,
I
for sure.
love.
Yeah, that I mean that's what I love so much about the band. I love their hard rock side. That's always been the real draw for me. I like all the other stuff too, but when Queen rocks out, not many did it as well. It feels
Really,
me.
I agree. And when I was doing it for this week, when I was going back and listening again, I was gravitating to the hard rock stuff. I was getting really excited about the hard. So we'll get to that. But so yeah, so we're here to talk about the run from Queen One, we'll call it, Queen One to the game, basically. So 1973 to 1980, essentially.
Yep.
So it's interesting that we're in the '70s again, like we were for Jethro Tull. The '70s were a pretty magical time for music. It just was. I think there's a lot of things coming together, just labels and great big huge labels that were just financing these bands, and a lot of hungry young bands, and a lot of just a great time for music.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure. Yeah, I mean, isn't it amazing how here we are still talking about this decade and all these very cool bands and it's not just music. I mean, I look at like some of my favorite movies and films and stuff, and the '70s were just a great decade for, artistic endeavors, whether it's, musical or filmography or, there's a lot of great books that released that. It was a magical time. And so, yeah, a lot of us older guys, older folks, we talk about this decade all the time,
right.
it's funny you talk to like younger people and they don't know, right? Because they didn't live through it. It's like, oh, all you ever do is talk about old stuff from the '70s. I'm like, well, there's a reason for it, right? And it's all this stuff has held up so well over the years. That's the thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
plus, we have so many decades worth of listening to this stuff, and that means something too. That's why you can never really compare like a run of albums from 15 years ago by a band to a run of albums from a band from 40 or 50 years ago if you're of a certain age group, because we've got more time invested with these, right? So
True, true,
that's a
true.
big part of it too. But yeah, yeah, this is a really really great run, really great
Yeah.
run.
And what do they say? Last thing I'll say about that is, don't they say something about your, when you first get into music really heavily is like you're like 12, 13 or whatever. It'll let
Yeah.
it's that period of like, when you're, for me, it started around 10 or 11 where you're just start getting into music and you're just like, that music is just, you're just like so into it. And Queen was right in that window for me.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, because we had nothing else to do. And
yes, there was no internet, no
right,
internet.
the kids nowadays don't really know all that stuff. But when we
Yeah.
were younger, before internet and before all this technology and stuff, and we had no money, right? So we would go buy 5 albums a year. And what did you do 365 days of the year? You spent your time with those albums. You listened to them start to finish, front to back, and you lived with them for years and years and years. So it's not like today where there's just so much attacking us, from left and right, through social media and all the different outlets. So someone's got the scratchies over there. There's just so much, so you can't really spend enough time with anything. But
Yeah.
we had these albums and we listened to them constantly, and you're at that age where you're like a sponge. You
Yep.
don't have
Yep.
jobs, you're not married, you don't have children, you don't have all these responsibilities. You went to school, you came home, and you listened to your records. That's all I did.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's
I
all I
used to
did.
sit in front of the stereo with my albums. You probably did the same. You sit in front
Yep.
of the stereo, you had a stack of records, and you would sit there and look at the albums and read the line notes. And people, my sister's boyfriend told me about, he has abiding memory of me sitting, her husband now, abiding memory of me sitting, by the stereo a lot, just listening to records, and that's what you did back in the day. And also I remember um, my sister getting a huge poster of Queen, and it was like the Queen 2 thing, and it was like they were so exotic looking and so just like, I'm like,
Yeah.
who are these guys? Like they just look so cool.
Yeah.
So they had the look too. Um,
Yeah, and Freddie was such like a part of that early on. It's like and we'll go through it as we go talk about these albums, but I think the look, the image of Freddie Mercury on those first couple of albums with the longer hair and the nails painted
yeah, it's
and
the
the he
nails,
wore, I
yeah.
mean, there was something pretty magical about that look. When he went and cut the hair and grew the mustache, it's like, it was still unique to him, but I always prefer, like, if you ever go out and watch, I have a couple Blu-rays and stuff of like the early shows at like the Rainbow Theater and whatnot.
Yes, the
Those
Rainbow
first couple
Show,
tours.
yes.
Man, that dude owned the stage. He was something to look at on stage when he had the long robe and the long hair, and he just had this look. Uh, I really love that era of the band, the early day, the way they looked. They had this something special. And you look at bands that came afterwards, like a band like Angel totally took everything they had from Queen.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
There's something, yeah, this is a very, very special band, and
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah, they
really,
really brought it live. I mean, that was another thing about this band. Like you're saying, I mean, you watch some of that early, even like you said, early clips, and you're like, wow, they are killing it. Like,
they were
damn.
juggernaut. Yeah, they were an absolute juggernaut. And you could even, I mean, even in the 80s, I mean, you look at like the Live Aid or the Wembley show, the
Yeah.
full on Wembley show in what, 85 or whatever year that was. I mean, they were still amazing then. Great,
Yeah.
great live band. One
Yeah.
of the great. I never got to see them in their original incarnation. I got to see them years later with do you want to blank on his name? The American Idol guy.
Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert. I've seen him twice with Adam Lambert, and it was great because it's seeing at least part of Queen. But I would have loved to have seen Queen back in the day. I was just when I was old enough to start being able to go to shows like in 1981. Queen were already kind of done touring here, unfortunately. So I just kind of missed that last, it would have been cool to see them on the Game tour or Jazz or something
Oh
like that.
yeah,
Was a
yeah.
little too young, just
No,
so.
same here. We're the same thing for me. It was like just a little bit too young to go. Like I could have, like you said, would have loved to see the Game tour. One of my buddies, who's in a band with me, he saw the Game tour, and I was like, oh, dude, you're killing me. He
Yeah,
saw Queen, and he said they were fantastic. He's like they
yeah,
were
I'm sure.
unbelievable.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
So, but anyway, let's get into. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. So Queen won. I mean, okay, so Queen forms from this band called Smile, right? There are three guys, and Freddie Mercury's in another band, and he joins, and they become Queen, and they find John Deacon. And, it takes them a while to find a bass player. They finally find John Deacon, and they gel pretty quickly. I mean, this record to me feels, I mean, this album is one of those that really has jumped up the ranks for me. Like I don't know why. I used to kind of, I don't know, not discard it, but I used to kind of act like, oh yeah, Queen One is kind of like, yeah, they're sort of still, just, yeah, they're still coming
This
in.
has become my favorite Queen album in
Yeah,
recent
I mean,
years. Yeah,
right. I mean, like this
it
album, there's
overtook
something
it
about
from.
this record. Like, what is it? You
Well,
know?
I mean, we talked about it a couple minutes ago. There's something so raw and uncompromising about this album, and it's their heaviest album ever. And I like heavy, and I just think that this is a young, ferocious band that is hungry, and there's no other album in their catalog quite like this. And I think the older I've gotten, the more I really appreciate this record. I mean, it's just you go down the track list. I mean, it's like one banger after another. It's got the little subtleties that they do so nice, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, son and daughter, great. Liar, great. Doing all right. Grand King Rat, keep yourself alive. I mean, you got the majestic stuff like My Fairy King. Liar is killer.
Liar. Yeah.
Jesus, I mean, modern times, rock and roll. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
No, it is, man. I'm telling you, I feel the same way. Like when it's this is one of those albums you kind of listen to and you go, God, this, like you said, banger. Like keep yourself alive. Just man, come on. Like what a great opener. That's just, and it just feels like they came in fully formed like that. You hear keep yourself alive. You're like, these guys are already killing it. Like first
Right
track,
out of the
first
gate.
album.
Yeah. Right out of the gate.
That it's that Brian May sound is like right there.
He's a riff master right from the get-go. Like one of the most important riff guys we've ever had that nobody ever gives enough credit to. And I've gotten into arguments with so many people over the years who will argue to death with me that Queen were never heavy. And I'm
What?
like, really? A, have you listened to the first album? B, they've got heavy songs on every album,
They
right?
do.
Because Brian
What's
May's
cool?
in the band, right? Brian May is a heavy guitar player. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, and Brian May was the guy who pushed for heavy music. I mean, he was the guy who liked the heavy stuff,
yep.
more than anybody, probably. You know, I mean, and like things like you said, "Son and Daughter." I forgot how great that song is.
So good.
I mean, a great guy like Great King Rat was a diddy old man, and a diddy old man was he. I mean, that whole like, what would I tell you? I mean, there's just so many good songs on this album. Love it, love it.
Yeah,
So what a great start to the band. I mean, come
it
on.
is. Yeah, it is. It is. It's an amazing
And then
album.
and I would say that, like you said, I think you mentioned the word raw. It's kind of it's pretty raw. It's pretty like close to the bone. It's like raw Queen. I love it.
Yeah.
And then they kind of amp it up and get a little crazier on Queen 2, right? They kind of like, let's pull out all the stops a little more on Queen
Yeah.
2, right?
Yeah, this out of all the albums, this has a similar feel, but I think this album is them trying to be a little more artistic. A lot of people call this Queen's Prague album. I don't know if it's
Yes.
really Prague, but
I don't know about
it's
Prague, but
definitely
yeah.
more artistic for them. There's some genius stuff on here, but there's still, if you like the heaviness of the first album, I mean, Ogre Battle is
Ogre,
arguably the heaviest song they ever did, right?
Ogre Battles is killer.
I mean, it's just like it's like thrash metal, like wait, oh, it's crazy, crazy stuff.
Nuts.
But I mean, I absolutely adore. It's one of my favorite songs by the band. I love the March of the Black Queen, and
Oh
I like
yeah.
it better live. I mean, you probably know if you have any of the live stuff from this time period, they do it amazing on
Yes.
stage at this time period. It gets even heavier. It's just so like epic sounding. But yeah, it's Father the Son is great. White Queen is just majestic. It's great stuff on here. Funny how Love is gorgeous. Nevermore is cool. I like how they always do these like little whimsical, like short little pieces. They're on all these albums. I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, Nevermore is like the Fairy Feller's Masterstroke is fun and goofy. You got more Roger Taylor stuff, The Loser in the End. I always like when they have drop in a song that he sings because I like his voice. It's like I don't know if I want a whole album of Roger Taylor singing, but I like when he sings a song or two per hour per album. I think that's really, really good. Um, yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So cool that they had three lead
awesome
singers,
time.
right?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
They had three singers.
yeah.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah, I always thought Brian had a great voice too.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, same here. And I think I was just showing this earlier. I think this is the poster that I remember looking like. I think that was it. And I was like, who are these guys? I mean,
Great
this is
shot. I
just
know.
insane.
Yeah,
Look
it's
how cool they
classic.
look. It just, yeah. Um, But yeah, I mean, Queen 2 is interesting because, like you said, it's all over the map. And it really feels like like you said, it's a young. They're still young and hungry at this point, and they're still trying to make a stamp. They're trying to put their stamp on the music scene, and but it's so unique. Some of the stuff on here is so unique. I mean, you mentioned Ogre Battle. I mean, Ogre Battle starts out, it's like backwards, and you're like, what is happening? And then all of a sudden, like you said, and then there's these crazy operatic vocals, and it's like they're starting to kind of do these things that become their signature, right? On things like Night of the Opera and going forward. But I love the Mercury is kind of on fire on this record because you
Oh
can
yeah.
tell, he's got his fingers all over this record, you
Yeah.
know.
And he does all these like different type of voices so well. And I 100% agree with you. If for those folks who think that like a Night at the Opera was something that just happened, there are Night at the Opera isms across all three albums that came before it. They're the
Yeah.
seeds for
Yep.
what became Night at the Opera and all the greatness of that album. They're all on these albums, all those elements. They're here. It's just that it finally all came together then. And yeah, yeah, Freddie's amazing on this record. I mean, they all are, but Freddie is just doing his. Freddie's just being Freddie.
Yes,
Freddie
yes,
being Freddie
exactly.
is a great thing, right? So it's
Yeah, and it's a wonderful thing. It's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so great. And Father to Son is another love that
I
song.
love Father to Son. Yeah, Father to
Yeah,
Son.
but and some of the lyrics are kind of odd. You're kind of wondering what he's singing about. The Fairy Feller's Masterstroke and and March of the Black Queen. And it's almost like sort of talking. I don't know what he's singing about, but it works. It
Yeah,
totally works.
yeah.
Little bit Dungeons and Dragons, a little Lord of the Ring. I don't know what he's doing there.
And then you get a fully fleshed out Seven Seas of Rye, which is amazing. So
Yes, 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 because you get that little teaser on the first record. You get that
I
little
know.
and you're like, oh, this is a great song. Then it fades out.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
and it's all it's like, whoa, what a great chorus! It's like it's a great tune.
yeah, and that was really their first. I think Seven Seas of Rye was kind of their first minor hit in the
Yeah.
UK. That was like their first kind of song that kind of got some attention. They got on top of the pops, and
Yep.
suddenly they were becoming a bigger band, and it led to Sheer Heart Attack, the next record, which is, by the way, November 7. This is November 74. Queen 2 was March 74. So two. This is back in the days of 2 days, two records a year. You
Yeah,
know.
just think about it. So they cranked out those first three albums in like the span of what, just over a year? It's
Yeah,
literally it's not that
yeah,
much many months in between. Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy.
July 73 to November 74. Those first three
Yeah.
records.
So yeah, just not quite a year and a half. So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, this is a really great album.
Oh my
This is
God.
another one of those albums that I think over time is really starting to become a force for me in this catalog. There's just some great songs on here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really great songs on here.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, I mean, Brighton Rock is great. Killer Queen shows you that pop sensibility, which is great. Tenement Funster is just goofy fun. Flick of the Wrist is a great anthem. Really, really good.
Flick of the wrist.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good. It's a fast-paced song, really good. Lily of the Valley is gorgeous. And again, these little minute and a half long songs, these little ditties they do. Now I'm Here is one of the great anthems of the 70s.
Come on.
Killer in the Lap of the Gods is majestic and gorgeous. And then you got probably the first speed metal song ever with Stone Cold Crazy, which is just incredible, you know?
I mean, tell me that's not heavy.
Unrelenting. It's unrelenting. It's
Yeah.
so good. You got a couple of the shorter tracks, and you got the goofiness of Bring Back That Leroy Brown. I mean, but it's just all real charming stuff. Even when they do like their show tunesy type stuff or the kind of silly songs, there's a charm about them that's like irresistible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff on here. And again, very varied, right? You like the hard rock, you got it. You like the pop, you got it. You like the more vaudevillian show tunes type stuff, you got it. A little bit of everything. There really was no other band like this, Tom, at this time.
No,
No other
no,
band like them.
no, no, I agree. They were so unique. I keep saying the word unique. I don't know what else to say. They're just so unique at the time. It was just like people were, yeah, it just, when they heard it, it was like, this is so, and just on this album, they're really getting more confidence. You can tell the confidence level's going up, and they're just doing whatever they feel like, and
Yeah.
it's working.
Yeah. Well, it certainly is. It
I mean,
certainly.
like you said, even something like Bring Back That Leroy Brown. I mean, I play that in my car, and the girls, my daughters love that song. That bring back that Leroy Brown. I mean,
It's so catchy and it
it's
takes you back,
infectious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
Um,
Good.
and like you said, Stone Cold Crazy is heavy. Brighton Rock is pretty heavy. I mean, but I
Oh,
love Brighton Rock. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Come on.
Quite good. Great. And they're always really good with album openers. I mean, that's just Keep Yourself Alive and Procession into Father to Son and Brighton Rock, and then we got a great album opener on the next album. So yeah, and I think they hit you with that high intensity right off the bat, which is so cool.
Yeah, that I love Freddie's, Sally, will you play? And he's doing that whole like falsetto vocal the whole
Yep.
time, and it's just, and then that huge guitar break in the middle. Oh my God, Brighton Rock just still blows me away. I love
Oh
it.
yeah. So
Oh
good.
my God.
And
Uh,
we haven't mentioned him yet, but Roy Thomas Baker is kind of like the unofficial, you know, fifth member of the band here, and he's so ingrained in the sound of this group all throughout this time period. And the production style is very comparable from album to album for the most part. There are little subtle differences from here and there, but I think from this point on, you get a lot more of the artsiness, and especially, the next album especially, and then the band decides to do it on their own, you know, going forward after that. But I think they learned a lot from Roy Thomas Baker.
yeah, they did. I think they did.
A lot of bands in the 70s did that. A lot of bands would hook up with one producer for a couple of albums and then decide it's like, okay, I think, thank you for taking us to where we are, but we can kind of go it alone, or maybe we want to change at that point in time. But I think a lot of this early success here in this catalog is also, you got to give a little bit of it to Roy Thomas Baker, I think.
Oh no, I couldn't agree more. I think I'm glad you mentioned that because he really was I mean he was like it was like a team. He was the early Queen was like a team with Roy Thomas Baker.
Yep.
And I think Roy kind of saw their vision and really helped them to, a great producer helps the artist create their vision. And he
Yeah.
he did that. He did that really well with Queen, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, he was, I think, the right guy to utilize every little trick that the studio has available to be able to get them to, like you said, recreate the vision that they had and make it sound ultra cool and different. Because I mean, there's all sorts of studio trickery going on in these albums that just adds to the legend that are these records. And it's like, was he the right guy for them? I think so.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah, he was for sure. He definitely was. R.I.P.
Yeah, I
He's
know, not
missed.
that long ago. Yeah.
He's missed. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I also have to mention, I mean, Killer Queen was another pretty big hit for them in the UK.
Yeah.
Again, not in the US yet, but in the UK, they're becoming bigger and bigger with every record.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah,
and Killer
Killer
Queen
Queen, I
was a
think, has taken on a life of its own in more subsequent years. I mean, that's like a classic rock staple nowadays. When
Yeah,
you
it
listen to
really is. It really it's because like you said, it's grown in stature, and I think it deserves it. I mean, I think it's a really well written song. Like there's something about Killer Queen. It's got the catchiness. It's very Freddie. It's got the catchiness. It's got all these little things that happen. Like there instead of a crash cymbal, it's a bell. That would and then just and then the whole snap at the beginning. No way is shine. It's got like those this snaps, finger snaps.
it's
It's very
very
cool.
clever. It's clever.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. So then again, Queen's on the ascended. Every album they're getting bigger, and then they had this management deal with Trident Studios, which was kind of like funky. It was like they were the managers and they did this and they had the studio and it was like this financial problem that they had. So they switched managers at this point to John Reed, who was Elton John's manager. And he basically told them, okay, I'll take care of the business. You just go in and make the best record you can make. So they go out to the sticks, like out into like a farm studio called Rockfield, and they make this masterpiece.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like you always say, Pete, masterpiece for a reason,
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Yeah.
classic for a reason.
Yeah, and I get some people, not a lot, but I do run into people every now and then who are not as big a fan of this record because it's got some of the weird stuff that some people don't like about
Yeah,
Queen.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's what makes Queen Queen, right? All this stuff that's on here. This is probably arguably their most well-rounded record for having like all those elements that we love so much about the band. It's all on here. Like from song to song, every song is completely different than the one that came before it, right? And the
yeah,
one
yeah,
after, which is great.
yeah.
I mean, it hits you like a hammer on with Death on Two Legs, which is a killer hard rock opener. Then you get Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon, which is again another one of those little minute and a half, little charming, kind of quirky songs that they do so well.
Yep.
Roger Taylor, I'm in love with my car. That's a great song.
I like that song. Yeah, I like it.
Great song.
Yeah.
They do pop with "You're My Best Friend," which again, you talk about Killer Queen. This is another radio staple of theirs. Brian May singing on 39, kind of like an acoustic ballad.
Yeah, love
Awesome.
it. Love it.
Really
Yeah.
good. Sweet Lady, more hard rock. So good. You get more of that kind of like whatever you call Seaside Rendezvous. It's kind of like this breezy kind of
Cabaret kind of.
cabaret vaudevillian type thing. Yeah, it's charming, is what it is. And then all of a sudden you get this big Herculean kind of like heavy metal prog rock epic, The Prophet Song.
Oof.
It's like where did that come from?
Oh my God. I know exactly.
That's just so good. I mean, it's so heavy, and again, using the studio, very important because so many places on this album, they're utilizing all these things that they can do in the studio to give all these cool sounds and things. And the Prophet Song is great with the echoed vocals and now I know the
Now
acapella
I
vocals.
know.
Ah,
Now I know. Yeah. Yeah.
just so good, right? And then Love of My Life is a gorgeous, gorgeous ballad.
It is. Oh
An
yeah.
amazing vocal from Freddie. Amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Staple. Staple.
Ah, so good. Good Company is fun and quirky. And then, of course, there is Bohemian Rhapsody, which is, many people have cited as the greatest rock song of all time.
Right.
You know,
Right.
nothing like it before, nothing like it afterwards. I mean, it's incredible. I don't personally need to hear it much anymore, Tom, because I've heard it like a million times, but I truly love it and realize what an amazing achievement Bohemian Rhapsody was. And it basically broke this band into the big time, even though they
Yeah.
were already a big band by this time, but like really Bohemian Rhapsody made them superstars, made them legendary.
Absolutely. This really that bro you're absolutely right. I mean, and I couldn't agree with you more, Pete. It's like I don't really need to hear Bohemian Rhapsody anymore, but like I pretty much skip it every time I put on this record, but because I just, it's just burnout, but
Yeah.
you can't deny its greatness. I mean, it's just
Oh, it is.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Um and to your point, it really did it push them into the superstar status, because nobody, I mean, like you said, we've said it many times already. Nobody was doing this. I mean, no, this was nobody else was doing anything like this. And I guess, I mentioned John Breed was their manager. He played Bohemian Rhapsody for Elton John. He goes, "You got to be kidding me. What?" He's like, "No way. That's not a single." And they put it out as a single, and it worked.
Yeah. Well, because it's so different. I mean, is it prototypical, stereotypical single material? No,
No.
not at
Yeah.
all. But there's just something so weird and different and unique about it and so genius about it that it's like, how could you not? Because, honestly, if you really look at this album and you go down through, obviously You're My Best Friend. That's a single. That's
Yeah,
got single written
absolutely.
all over it.
Yeah.
Much of the rest of this album is not. It's not very radio friendly, I don't
It's
think. They're
true. You're
great
right. It's not.
songs, they're great album cuts, but radio friendly? Not really. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Yeah.
You know?
I
Even
mean,
like a great song like Love of My Life, you're not going to hear that on rock radio. It's not a rock song.
it's not a, yeah, it's too, I don't know. It's too
Yeah.
melody. It's too
Yeah.
mellow. It's
You would
too,
never
I
hear a
don't know.
Prophet song, even like, Sweet Lady is not single material, Death on Two Legs, even I'm in Love with My Car, it's not a single.
Yeah,
39, not even.
maybe, but
Yeah,
not, I don't
maybe. I
know.
don't know. So really, let's pick the weirdest song on here and let's make it a single, and boom, it worked. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but man, Prophet Song. Oh,
I love it.
that's
Yeah.
my jam. Prophet Song just kills me every time I hear it. I just love it.
And Freddie comes in, he's doing the metal god thing. It's like, it's so good.
Yes,
So good.
yes. That, like you said, like that weird, awesome, like vocal breakdown thing that just happens. You're like, oh my God, so cool. Anyway, and then the heavy, Brian's heavy on that song as well. So very
Oh
cool.
yeah, yeah. Heavy
Very
Brian
cool.
is always good.
Yeah, love it. Love it. All right, so we they like you said, massive, now they're huge, massive
Yeah.
breakthrough. And what did they do? How are you going to follow up a blockbuster? You kind of do almost like part two,
100%. Yeah,
you
this is
know,
basically
stay at
the
the
sequel.
races.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of shit on this album because they think it's just a retread of the album that came before it. I think it's kind of sequenced similarly. It's like it's like I don't want to say it's part two because it really isn't,
It's
but
really not. It's really not.
it's the band kind of taking what they did on Night at the Opera and saying, all right, let's do kind of something similar. Because there is a similar look and feel to this record, and
Yes.
the way
Yeah.
it's sequenced is very similar. I still really like it a lot. a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
think this is their most one of their most underrated albums from this time period because like nobody really cites it as like one of the great albums. But I think it's really good. I mean, Tie Your Mother Down is a great heavy rocker. Oh, really? Okay. Puppy's talking to me. Play with me, Dad. Oh, can't play with you right now.
Yay.
Yeah, Tie Your Mother Down is great. You Take My Breath Away is good. Long Away is terrific. All righty then. Aussies, man. The Millionaire Waltz is terrific. I think the Millionaire Waltz is kind of like their
Yes. Yes.
Bohemian Rhapsody kind of light, so to speak.
Right. Right.
I
Yeah.
always thought it was really, really cool. You and I is gorgeous. Somebody Love is a great anthem. They're still, yeah, they're still looking like rock stars.
Absolutely.
How about White Man? How heavy is that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Another Brian May heavy track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're on every album. Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy is really charming. Drowse is pretty cool. What I never know how to Toriato.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good too. Yeah, they're
Japanese.
yeah. There's not as many like classics on this record, I think, which is one of the reasons why it kind of ranks a little lower for a lot of people. But I think it's very solid. It's definitely, not one of the top albums from this time period, but I think it's really, really good. I think if you kind of take it away, and you look back on it, Tie Your Mother Down, Somebody to Love are the classics on here.
Right. Right.
For me, I think The Millionaire Waltz and White Man are the real gems on here for me of the deep cuts, and the other stuff is good. It's good,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
it's definitely not this. It's not quite this.
No, it's not. It's
No,
not quite. No, I agree.
but it's good. It's really good.
You pretty much nailed it. I don't really have that much more to add. You almost said exactly how I feel about this record. It's the same way. I think the song the big songs are really awesome. I mean the
Yeah.
big the big singles, the big songs like somebody like you said, Somebody Love Tie Your Mother Down. Those are amazing.
Yeah.
And I like you said, I love Millionaire Waltz. I think
Oh, I think it's excellent.
that's an awesome Freddie song, you know.
Oh, it totally is. I love the heavy section towards the back, and it's got kind of like this Bohemian Rhapsody heavy section towards the back, and then it gets back into this kind of like operatic type thing. I think it's really good. Really good.
Yeah, and like you said, good old fashioned lover boy. I mean, it's another Freddie song that
Yeah.
has so much charm to it and so much that ooh love. I mean, it's got a lot of hooks in it. I think that's a cool track.
Swings, it's really good. You
You
and I,
know,
we didn't even mention you and I. You and I actually is really good as well.
yeah.
So
So it's
yeah,
a good record. It's a
it
very good.
is. It
You
is.
know,
Yeah.
it's not Night at the Opera, but it's good.
No, unfortunately, yeah, it's not Night at the Opera, and I think that's the problem. If this would have come out like a little bit later, I think maybe people would be a little more forgiving of it. But it's like as the sequel to Night at the Opera, it's not quite that album.
Yeah, 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 agreed, agreed. So then I think the general public kind of feels that way about this record a little bit, almost like, oh, they're just doing part two. So and then we also, in the socials, in the music scene, the social scene, we have the rise of punk happening. So we're now into 1977 or 76, 77. Sex Pistols and the Clash and the Damned, all these bands are starting to get a lot of attention in the UK. And so where does that leave Queen? So, but Queen is the biggest they've ever been. They're still
Yeah.
huge.
Oh yeah.
And so they decide to kind of scale back a little bit, and then they do News of the World, which
Yeah.
is sort of like a scaled back record for them a little bit. Would you say? Would you agree?
Yeah. I would agree. Yeah. They're self-producing it here. Mike Stone works with them a little bit, but I think that this honestly, this has always been probably my least favorite of the 70s albums, believe it or not.
I kind of
I
feel the
I
same
know,
way, Pete. That's
yeah,
funny
I
that you
just,
said that. I feel the same.
but we're, I think, in the minority. I mean, most people cite this as one of their, of the strongest albums from here, but it is very much a back to basics type of an album. Because quite frankly, if you didn't have We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions on here, it's kind of devoid of big, massive hits. Granted, it's got great anthems like, It's Late is terrific. I think that's really, really good. Sheer Heart Attack is a total like kind of fast-paced punk rock song. All Dead is cool. Spread Your Wings is a great ballad, right? Fight from the Inside is kind of funky, right? It's all of a sudden
Yeah.
kind of foreshadowing what's coming in a couple albums.
Yep.
Get Down, Make Love is also kind of funky. Sleeping on the Sidewalk, that's kind of schmaltzy. Who Needs You, that's okay. My Melancholy Blues, that's all right. I don't find this album is as classic to me anyway as some of the other records that came before it. That's not to say there aren't great things on here. The album cover absolutely rules, right?
Yes, it does.
So cool. But yeah, for me, if I take my like again, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, classic. I don't really need to hear those songs anymore. I think Sheer Heart Attack is loads of fun. I love Spread Your Wings. I love It's Late. It's Late might be my favorite song on the album, actually.
Yeah, It's Late is really good.
I really like that a lot.
Yeah.
Spread Your Wings, again, is really good. I mean, there's no bad songs on here. I just find that when I reach for Queen from this era, I very rarely, if ever, grab this album.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I can't believe you just said that because I feel the same way. I was like, I was wondering if we were going to have a differing opinion on this one, but we don't because I feel the same way. I'm with you. Like, take away the single, take away We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions. And you're kind of like, this is the first album where I'm kind of like, some of the songs on here are kind of, they're okay. Like,
Yeah.
like Sleeping on the Sidewalk is kind of meh. It's okay. I mean, it's all
Mhm.
right. Who Needs You is okay. I do like you mentioned you mentioned the standouts. Spread Your Wings, It's Late. I do like Fight from the Inside quite a bit, actually. I do like that song. But I just think as an album, as a statement, as a record, all the way through, it kind of has. It's like I don't know. It's not one of my favorites. It's and like you said, We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions is kind of got played out. I mean, we've heard it a
Yeah.
million times,
They're
so
great. They're great. But
they're
yeah.
great. But
Yeah. I don't find the deep cuts on this album as strong as on some other albums.
that's compelling. Yeah,
Yeah,
compelling.
they're still good. It's still a very good Queen album. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
not quite like the one we're going to talk about now. To me, is the most underrated of this entire catalog.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
That's
mean,
that's it. Queen
jazz is great
Jazz. People diss this record, and I don't get it
all the
at
time.
all. Do
Yeah.
you?
No, I never did. I have been singing the praises of jazz for years and years and years. I've had discussions with Martin Popoff about this album, about how great and underrated it is. It's excellent. Not only does it have great, like kind of like memorable pop songs, but it has killer heavy rock stuff. It's got the artistic stuff, which is really good. It's got the quirky stuff, which is really good. It's a really well produced album. Here they're working back with Roy Thomas Baker once again.
Yeah, they're back with Roy Thomas Baker, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it starts off really cool. I know a lot of people don't like Mustafa. I think Mustafa is high energy greatness. I
I
love
think
it.
it's awesome. Yes.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Fat Bottom Girls is killer. Jealousy is a very cool track. Bicycle Race is loads of fun. If you can't beat them, join them. Hey, why
Join
not?
them.
Just so
Yes.
good. Let Me Entertain You is a killer heavy track. So good.
Yes.
Man, Brian May's guitar riffing is immense. Ah,
It's just like so awesome. Yes.
it's so good.
Yep.
How about Dead on Time?
Oh, come on.
Down, look
Come
it down, look it
on.
down, look it down, look it down, look it down.
I love Dead on Time. Oh my God, I love that track.
Ah, killer, absolutely killer. In Only 7 Days is majestic, really good. Dreamer's Ball is fun. Then you got, more Roger Taylor goofiness with Fun It, which I think is really cool. Leave It
Yeah.
Home Ain't Easy is great. And then you got, Don't Stop Me Now. That's a great
Another
anthem.
killer song. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think more of that jazz is like dark and sinister and groovy and so good. I find a lot to love on this record. A lot to love. And it's like it's not full of big massive hits because really what Fat Bottom Girls and Bicycle Race I think were the only real hits on this album.
Right.
But
Right.
to me, this album is the strongest deep cut album, I think, out of this entire
Yeah.
run. It's
Yeah.
just all the songs are really, really strong and there's a lot of variety, which is good. And I love the production. Whereas I don't love the production of this album.
Right. Right.
Again,
Right.
they self-produced this along with Mike Stone.
Like
But
Stone. Right.
I think honestly, I mean, I'll be honest here. These two albums, we just talked at length about these two albums and how we both feel these are maybe not the most solid in the entire catalog. These are or in this part of the catalog, but these also were not produced by Roy Thomas Baker.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then they
Right.
come back with this where they work with him again one last time, and all of a sudden this is, classic Queen once again.
No,
So
I was just going to point that out.
secret
Glad you
sauce,
pointed it
he's a
out.
secret sauce, right?
I was glad you pointed it out. I was going to say the same exact thing because he's back for this record, and like you said, I think this record sounds fantastic. I mean,
It does.
sonically, it just sounds so good to me.
Yeah.
and I think it's something to do with Roy Thomas Baker being back, you
And
know.
I
And
remember, Tom, when this album first came out, so this was what, 78, right? 78,
yeah,
77.
70, yeah, 78. Yep.
78. So I remember like I have cousins who lived in Long Island, and both female, by the way. And they were, one was a year older than me, one was 2 years older than me. And whenever we would go over there to visit, like around holidays and things like that, they were always hip to buying some of this stuff before I did, because they were a little bit older. And I remember like when they had just gotten this, I went over for we went over for one of the holidays, and they're like, "Oh, you got to hear this new album we picked up by this band Queen, right?" And I remember like having the vinyl and opening that up and seeing that bicycle race shot with all the naked ladies, and I was like, "Alrighty then,
Whoa.
I can get down with this." It's like and I remember my uncle was kind of like, "Yeah, I didn't approve of that album." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever." It's like,
Yeah, I'm not going to show it, but it looked like the outside was pink, so you would have to open it up to see that.
exactly,
But
exactly.
but yeah, that was I remember the same feeling of doing that and going, "Oh, wow. Okay. This is a
Yeah,
little naughty.
yeah,
Wow."
yeah.
But I was kind of like, "Oh, okay."
I wasn't
Uh,
complaining. I'll tell you that much. I was
yeah,
not complaining.
I wasn't complaining either. I was kind of enjoying that. But yeah, no, I love this record. I love it to death. It's so funny that you said that, 'cause I just wow, we are on the same page with Queen, man. You know, like you said, the deep tracks on this are great.
Yeah,
Uh, things like "If You Can't Beat 'Em" and "Let Me Entertain You." I mean, "Let Me Entertain You" is just like so awesome. It's like the it has the craziness of Freddie with the heaviness of Brian in it.
Brian. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that
I
whole
think Brian's guitar tone on this record just kills. Really good. Really
yeah,
good.
and Roger's drums sound amazing too. That whole like, the is it Fat Bottom Girls with that I always do the air drums to that with that huge fill, and oh
Yep.
my God, love
Really
that.
good. Yeah. So
Uh
good.
yeah, my girls know if I'm in the car and that song comes on, look out, I'm doing that fill. It's like I'm gonna stop the car and just do the
That's gonna play air drums. All right, here we
here it
go.
comes.
It's
Here it
coming.
comes. Um, so anyway, I just yeah, love jazz to death. I think it's so great. You nailed it. Okay. So then we move on to the game, which is the last of the run we're gonna do for today. So um this is kind of a interesting record. I mean, it's funny, some people will say, "Oh, I think I would include the game in the run." I definitely include it. I think
I
that
think it belongs, even though it signals the arrival of a new decade and a little bit different sound. I think it belongs because it was a massive album for them, and it's part of this classic run. I think it's the last of the great albums, or the really strong albums, however you want to say, But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
let me ask you, do you feel that the game has aged well over the years?
Hmm. That's a good interesting question.
The reason why
Uh
I ask is because I mean, I obviously, when this came out, I was 14, and I love this album. And I always have. I still do, but I feel part of it hasn't aged as well as some of these other albums we've talked about for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe because this is really where they're starting to take on new sounds and things, and all of a sudden these like, kind of like these singles that came out of this album that were really big, but really not like what they've done previously. I find that I very rarely reach for this anymore, because I just like,
yeah.
they're working with Max, so the production's different. And I don't know. It belongs in this discussion, but I don't like it as much as these other albums. That's kind of where I'm with it now.
Well, here's the interesting thing. So I was talking to one of my buddies that he owns a record store in Ferndale, Michigan, and he knows his stuff. And I told him we were doing this. I said we're doing a Queen run, and I said, "What, in your opinion, what would be the run? When would it end?" And he said something like he thought about it for a second. He said, "Well," he's like, "I'd probably go to the game, but that might be pushing it." So that was his
Right.
comment.
Yeah, because a lot of people think it ends with jazz, basically. So,
Yeah,
and I totally understand that.
yeah,
But I think you have to include it just because it is a really strong album. It was a huge album for them. You can't end it with the Hot Space, right? I mean,
right,
because
right,
obviously it's not included, not part of this. But yeah, it belongs. But this sounds nothing like this.
right.
Yes,
right.
it's really, if you listen
Yeah.
to it now with a fresh set of ears all these years later, and I apologize for all the dog nonsense going on behind me.
Oh
Um,
no, it's
it's
okay.
definitely it's definitely of its own ilk. It's definitely a different Queen, and it's Queen for the new decade, really. I mean,
Yeah.
we could talk about a number of bands. I mean, it just popped into my head. How about you look at like Yes,
Hmm.
Tormato and then 90125, or Drama and then 90125, right? They don't sound anything alike because it's Yes for a new decade. That's, to me, the game is their 90125.
Yes, yes. That's a great analogy. I love that. It's very true. And you're right. It's you feel the transition happening into different times and different sonics and different, and honestly, you're right. Your point is well taken. I agree. I used to love this record. I used to listen to it like all the time. And when it first came out, especially. And now you revisit it now with a little bit of hindsight and you go, eh. And I really think this album's front loaded, man. This album kind of fades if to me. The
I
second
mean,
side kind of fades away from me a little bit.
yeah. Well, you know
Uh,
what it is? If it wasn't for Save Me, uh,
yeah,
side two is pretty weak, I think.
I really don't like don't Try Suicide at all. That's like one of my least favorite Queen songs. I just don't like it.
Yeah, Coming
It's
Soon
okay.
is nothing much to speak about. Sail Away, Sweet Sister is
It's
okay.
okay.
Rocket,
Yeah,
Prime Jive,
I like that song. I like that
it's
one. But
okay. And you got all the hits on side one, right? I mean, for me, honestly, Play the Game and Dragon Attack is all I really have much time for anymore.
right, right.
That's what it comes down to. I mean, I like Save Me a lot too, but if I want to listen to this album, I play those first two tracks. I don't really need to hear the rest.
Yeah. Another one Bites the Dust is kind of played out.
Yeah, it's
Need Your Love Tonight's okay.
yeah, and Crazy Little Thing Called Love again. It's
Played
okay.
out again. Because you heard those like constantly when this came out. Those two songs, other one Bites the Dust and Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Oh yeah, big time, big time.
You
But
know,
play the game is terrific.
Play the Game's awesome. I mean, the Play the Game is great.
And Dragon Attack has got groove to die for, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
Brian's guitar work on that is just killer.
Dragon Attack. Every time I hear that song, I crank it up. That's just like, dude, that is just that. I mean, that is just
Yeah, John Deacon is firing on all cylinders there, man. That's like so much groove.
yeah, yeah.
My computer, hold
Absolutely.
on one second. My computer got unplugged.
Oh, no problem. It's all the dogs playing.
Oh my God, yeah. He is a terror right now. He's just, he had his nap and now he's like bouncing off the walls.
He's like, Dad, you got a toy for me? Come on.
Yeah, he wants to play. He's like, meanwhile, normally he'll play with the German Shepherd and he'll be fun, but now he wants me to
He
play.
wants your attention. Yeah,
Yes, he
exactly.
wants my attention.
Yeah.
He's very impatient, as you can tell.
Yes. No, it's okay. It's fine. That's
He
all
might have
right.
he might have to go out too. That could be part of it as well. So I don't know if
Yeah.
he is.
So we're pretty much we got through it. We got through it. So I would say that, just a quick, this is a really good live record. I like this album a lot. This came out
Yes.
during the run. Um, I like Live Killers quite a bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a lot of great live stuff from this time period. I would definitely check out Queen on Air, which is great. My personal favorites, though, are Queen Live at the Rainbow, 74,
yes, yes,
killer,
yes.
Queen at the Odeon,
Yep,
killer,
yep.
and Queen at the BBC, killer.
Oh, I
These are,
don't have that. I gotta get that. I don't have the
yeah, you
BBC.
need this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
it's
right. Okay.
really good. This is like, to me, if you're talking about Queen live in this time period, you need all these. It's
Yeah.
great stuff. But not to discount the 80s live stuff because I think live at Wembley is terrific. Absolutely.
Yes,
To
it
me,
is.
that's like their signature live concert, right? From any era.
Yes,
It's
yes.
great. But yeah, but these are from the early days.
Isn't there a Queen in Montreal too? There's another one like this Montreal.
Yes,
That's
yes.
that's good
Montreal,
too.
that's really good as well. Yep, absolutely.
Yep. I
And
love.
this dog, he can jump like 4 feet up in the air. It's hilarious. He's so small and like something like he's just all of a sudden, I'm like,
He is
man.
fired up.
Oh, he
Uh,
is. He
how,
is. He
how
is.
how many toys does he have? That's another question. Like how many
There's Tom, there are toys everywhere.
everywhere?
Toys
Yeah.
everywhere. Balls and toys and he's crazy. Yeah. Yes. If anybody wants to get a mini Australian Shepherd, they're awesome, but just be prepared. They are high energy dogs
They're
and
high energy.
yes.
Yeah. It's funny. So are you going to take him out and like go like huge long walk, or do you throw a ball to him? What do you do?
Oh yeah, so him and the German Shepherd play quite a bit, so we'll take a ball and we'll throw. The German Shepherd is even worse with the toys.
Wow.
He is like obsessed with balls. Like
Okay.
obsessed. Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. She is obsessed, and like I could sit and play fetch with her for hours.
Hours.
And
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
doesn't get
Yeah.
tired, doesn't get tired, and she's just obsessed with balls. I'll be sitting downstairs, or anywhere in the house doing something, and she will just casually walk up to me with a ball and drop it in my lap, and then sit there and
Drop.
stare at me and wait for as long as it takes.
Yeah. Just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm here. I'm ready to
Yep.
go.
That is so funny. No, that's, I mean, because my sister has dogs. I don't have any dogs because my wife's allergic, so I can't. Which bums me out because I would love to have a dog. I
Oh,
would.
they're amazing. Yeah, I couldn't live without them. Yeah, it's just
Yeah. Yeah. They would say dogs love you and no one else will or
that's
something.
right. That's
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, they
Yep.
don't judge. They don't. Yeah, they just love you.
Yeah. So I'm just going to end it with saying, last thing we'll say about Queen is when I heard this record, this was the first album. I bought this when it came out. I was so excited to get it when it came out. I was so disappointed with this album. Holy moly. This was a bummer. Like,
I own it, but I hate it. It's
oh my
terrible.
God.
Yeah.
I just remember being so bummed out when I
Two
listened
good
to it.
songs.
What
That's it.
is this?
Two good songs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Under Pressure was amazing. You hear Under
Under
Pressure,
Pressure is great. Under
this is
Pressure is
going to be a
great.
banger of a record.
Yeah. And Brian's Big Rocker is great. The rest of it
Yeah.
is
Put Out the
garbage.
Fire. Put Out the Fire
Let's
is
face
great.
it's hot garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
not.
Pete, why do you own it if you hate it? Well, because I got to have them all, right? So
Well, I mean, Cool Cat was like, oh, what? Like,
yeah,
ugh.
it's not good. It
Is,
was
is,
like, you know what? It was an experiment. It didn't
but they
work.
tried. Yeah.
Tried
Yeah.
it. You got to give them credit for doing something different.
I mean, actually, Life is Real is pretty cool. I mean, there's a couple shows, but it's one of those where you're like, it's just as a record, you were like, wow, this is not what I'm used to. But anyway, and as Freddie said, it's just a freaking record, man. People calm down. It's okay. We'll make another.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it, people. That's it. That's Queen. That's the Queen run.
Queen 70s. Yep, absolutely.
70s, man. They were unstoppable. They were pretty amazing. So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Let us know. What do you maybe, because I'm telling you, the last thing I'll say is that I did a battle between News of the World and Queen and Jazz. I did a Jazz News of the World battle, and I'm telling you, all the comments were like News of the World, News of the World, News of the World, News. I mean, everybody. I was like, wow, and I had picked Jazz, and people were just like, so that's one thing that people disagree on is people love News of the World. So that's going to be interesting to see. What do you guys think? Let us know. So, Pete, thank you again, man. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks for
back.
having me, Tom. I look forward to doing another one of these because there's a lot of really good long runs like this. So
Yeah, we're going to do more.
Lots of material to draw from. Right?
Absolutely. So I got a couple already thinking about.
Okay, let me know. Sounds good.
Think about it. So anyway, thanks again, Pete, and go take out the dogs for a walk. And we will see you next time on Curless Mania. Hit like and subscribe, please. That helps the channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on Curless Mania. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.